I get it, it's been a little while, but it's finally time for another edition of Project Royal Enfield, but this one isn't exactly going to be about engine performance. I have decided to completely abandon the entire idea of a big bore kit, and, there's a lot of reasons for that decision, and I may get into that in a different video, but for now, this episode is all about handling and aesthetics. So in this one, we're shedding a little weight and giving the old gal a fresh new pair of shoes. I've put over 7,000 miles on this bike with that stock CEAT tires, and honestly, I've never really been a fan of them. They're not terrible by any means. The cornering's okay, tread pattern looks fine, but the big issue for me has always been traction and grip. These stock tires really dislike cold temperatures, and I'm one of those psychopaths that rides pretty much year-round when I can. Even around maybe 50-60 degrees Fahrenheit, I start noticing traction issues, especially with that rear tire, and I've had plenty of moments where the back tire would end up slipping or skipping out a little bit. Obviously, more on roads with gravel or sand, debris, whatever, but it also happens pretty consistently in colder weather, especially during the first 15 to 20 minutes of riding. And that's not exactly something I've ever been super comfortable with. I knew I would never replace these tires with the same exact ones, so I went online trying to find a different option. I've seen plenty of people use Duro tires, Heidenau, if that's how you pronounce that, even Shinko tires, some even opting for vintage style tread from other manufacturers, which I didn't want to do for various reasons. I also wanted to keep with the exact same tire size as much as possible, which ended up being more difficult than I ever would have imagined, by the way. Based off a couple different vendors that I can order from at work, I narrowed it down to Metzelers or Bridgestone. Unless I were to go with a vintage style pattern, I could have went with Dunlop, which again is not something I wanted. There are tons of options available if you were to jump up a size off that rear end at 120 by 90 instead of the 120 by 80. And I almost went that direction myself, nearly purchasing Continentals. I knew they would fit completely fine, but I wanted to keep everything, again, as close to stock as possible. I ended up going with the Metzeler Road Techs, mainly because our Triumph Speedmasters run them at work. I've always loved how that Speedmaster handles with those tires, and I figured, well, okay, if I enjoy it on a heavier, quicker motorcycle, I'm probably going to like it on this little Royal Enfield as well. So I had the tech at work swap the tires, tubes, balance everything, mount it, and I was good to go in a matter of an hour or so. After roughly 300 miles of riding with these new tires, my initial impressions have been really positive. The cornering feel, the feedback, and overall confidence I have is all noticeably better than stock. The bike even feels a bit more agile. Now, whether that's due to the tire design or just the fact that my old CEAT tires had some uneven wear, I can't exactly say for sure, but what I can say is that these tires perform night and day better in cold weather and on less than ideal roads with sand and gravel. I haven't had this rear end skip on me once, even from brand new that hasn't even been worn in yet, and the bike feels so much more planted to the pavement than it ever did before, even when I got it 6,000-7,000 miles ago. So because of that, I've noticed I'm a lot more confident in corners where I used to be a little bit cautious, especially in colder weather. I don't feel that hesitation anymore. It's pretty significant of an improvement. I know some people have gone back to the stock CEAT tires when it came time to replace them, but personally, I wouldn't really do it. The Metzelers have been a huge upgrade for me. Yes, they are quite a bit more expensive. I believe the stock tires are around $250, and these were double that. But in this case, I think the improvement is absolutely worth it, at least for me. The only thing that caught me off guard was high speed riding. At around 60 miles an hour, I noticed the front end feels way more responsive than ever before. Not unstable or sketchy, just quicker to react, if not making it maybe slightly twitchy at higher speeds. I think that mostly comes down to the tire being new and more rounded compared to the well-worn stock tires that probably had flat spots on them. I don't normally ride in the rain because of my medical issues, but I did get caught up in a pop-up storm one day a couple months back, and the tires handled it extremely well. I felt comfortable, planted. I never felt like, oh my god, this is going to be an issue. Nowhere near as tense of a riding experience like I used to have on those stock tires. Overall, I've been incredibly impressed with these Metzelers, at least so far. Now that the tires are done, and I'm super thrilled with how they turned out, let's shave off some unnecessary weight. How are we going to do that? Well, by ditching the pillion seat and that backrest. So I originally put this on because my wife used to ride with me pretty regularly, but these days, she has her own bike. So there's zero reason for me to have this thing on there, plus with my disability, I really shouldn't have a passenger anyway. Funnily enough, she actually rode this classic 350 a handful of times and loves it, but she had since switched and bought herself a Triumph Speed 400. In fact, the exact demo bike I used for that review, like half a year ago? If you are thinking that this removal of the pillion seat is going to be some big complicated job, just know that it's ridiculously easy. You only got 3 bolts to deal with. One that is underneath the seat that holds the whole pillion and bracket in place, and then 2 upper shock mount bolts. First, let's knock out this guy right here. I've heard bolt sizes can vary depending on the year, but for mine, all I needed was 2 12mm tools. So I ended up using a 12mm on a ratchet and a wrench. Once that's completely out, just loosen the upper shock mount bolts on both sides, enough to the point where that little grab handle drops is totally perfect. You do not need to remove the bolts completely. On my bike, both the bolt and the nut on the back were 17mm, but again, yours may differ for whatever reason. Quick tip, throw a towel over that rear fender before you slide anything off, just for protection of the paint. Once those bolts are loose, just slide the bracket back and it comes off super easily. You can remove the little grab handles if you want. I did not do that. I like having them when I'm putting the bike on the center stand or walking it backwards. It's just easier for me personally, but again, this is a total personal preference type thing. After you have everything removed, just tighten the bolts back up. There's no need to go full gorilla mode on it, especially if you've got Loctite on the bolts, which I highly recommend. A few solid grunts, it's all tight and good, you're done. That's all there is to it. Honestly, it completely changes the look of the bike. It cleans up the rear end, makes it kind of have a more, I don't know, bobber-ish style maybe. And yeah, I think it just looks cooler personally. Hitchcock does make a replacement bolt in the correct size if you want to fill the hole left by the original pillion bolts. You can't reuse the stock one for obvious reasons. It's just far too long. I'll probably grab one eventually, but for now, I'm really the only one who knows it's missing. I would clean up the bike a bit and take it for a ride, but it's currently -10 degrees, and we're in the middle of a full-blown snowpocalypse, so that's going to be a hard no. But let me know what you think. Do you like the Classic better as a solo seat? Because I definitely do. I'd love to hear what you guys think about tires in general. Did you change the sizes on your 350? Did you stick with the stock ones? Or did you upgrade to something more premium? Let me know in the comments. Let me know what you would like to see next in this series, as long as it's not a big bore kit, because again, I am not doing it. And I'll catch you on the next video. Take care, everyone. Ride safe, and I'll see you next time.